Have the honor and privilege to spend some time here with Terry Mustard, who is a Senior Director of Process Automation at Nestlé, talking about some of the challenges related to building out new capacity. It's a phenomenon that is affecting everyone with all the reshoring, nearshoring, and some of the geopolitical tensions that are causing us to try to de-risk supply chains. And Terry shared some of the challenges that go along with it. It's a challenging, hairy situation, Terry. And one of the things we always hear from customers is the challenges around workforce. So, Terry, with your experiences and background, what do you see the future looking like from a workforce point of view?
Well, thank you, Brian. Even before COVID, it was really hard to get people to work in factories. And I go to factories and I see sometimes well over 100 open positions that they can't fill. And the truth is that young people just don't want to work in factories, especially in the food industry and other industries. Those factories are in the middle of nowhere. They were built where the farms were, so they have a lot of struggles. The turnover's high, and they're shutting down production lines because they don't have the people to man these lines. So what the plants do is they look towards automation. Automation not only reduces the number of people on the line that you need, but also it corrects a lot of things. With big turnover and temporary employees, they make mistakes and they call off, and you have lower efficiencies and downtime. And it also really improves longevity. If you have 20 people on a line and they're lower skilled and don't make as much, and when you put an automated line in, those people can get trained and make a lot more money, more like a technician, and that becomes a career. Before it was just a job. Now it's a career that they can work at. And people think when you automate you have to do layoffs, but we never do. We always just absorb the growth and build new capacities and give a lot of training and up the skill set of the workers.
That's great, Terry. One of the other things we hear a lot about as we kind of dive into these projects, and there's hundreds of them, right? What's happening right now is unprecedented in terms of the amount of capital going into these types of situations. How do you see this idea of trying to bridge the gap between expectations of a smart factory or a lights out factory and the practical reality of having to get a project on time and in budget?
This new trend of fully automated factories, it's quite complex. You're not just connecting I/O and maybe even a control room, but it's really integrating with all the different systems and millions and millions of I/O points that have to be managed, and vendors need to tie in with VPNs, and you want to communicate with all the different programs, plus you have quality, and you have your network, and you have your anything that moves. You have your ERP, the MES system, all of that. And what we find is that most people, most of the engineers and most of these companies, they're really good at making their products, but building these connected factories, they have no idea. So having strategic partners, people that know how to do this, is key.
When you think about strategic partnerships, it's the OEM community, it's the SI community, it can be the constructor, the EPC partner that's going to ultimately be responsible for curating and pulling it all together. How do you go about that partnership approach?
Well, we're designing processes, not just buying a piece of equipment from a vendor. These processes include a facility, they include the utilities, they include all the systems, they include the equipment, the networks, all of that. You need to build an architecture, and these partners need to be strategic. You're building a partnership, and they need to be in very, very early on the planning stage. They need to be there to help build the architecture, what the values are, what you're trying to accomplish. You want efficiency, you want more capability, you want not just reduction of labor. There's a lot of quality aspects, flexibility, things like that. That architecture decides is the key for all of those aspects of the design. So they need to be in early, and it needs to be partners that are not only with you through the project, but continue on long after the building is complete.
Hopefully at full capacity with a lot of agility built in. Talk about picking partners based on even the needs beyond that, ongoing support and the evolution of how you might decide to operationalize some of the investments.
Well, these partnerships are key, and you really got to think of automation as really transformation. You're not doing things the old way. Everything that you do, everything that moves in that factory is being controlled, monitored, and managed differently. And that's transformational. That's change management. These partners are integral part of walking the company through that, helping them adopt new technologies, research these technologies, and then create really the future state. Where are we at? Where are we going? What's the phased approach? And it's beyond that one project, because these companies have many factories. Not just the new one that you want automated, but you have a lot of older factories that these solutions are applicable. And having a strategic partner that knows you, that knows what you're looking for, where you can hand off big portions of the design and execution, that's key.
Yeah, that's great. So as we wrap up, Terry, 36 years, and now we are where we are at probably an unprecedented pinch point in terms of the amount of velocity and the constraints and the opportunities that exist. If you were to summarize what good looks like in new capacity.
The big thing is the speed. There's new technology all the time. AI is taking off, and then even the companies, they're launching new products. There's always something that's happening. It's always something changing. The old ways of doing things, your old secret sauce, it's gone. You have to be cutting edge. You have to be in development, and you need partners to do that. It truly is transformational. We're transforming the entire company, not just the production floor anymore. So those key partnerships, people to help you get to that end state and do it very, very quickly is by far the most important thing.
That's great. The idea of pulling together partners, connecting in meaningful win-win ways so that everybody wins in setting the future of what good industrial new capacity automation looks like.